What's going on, everybody? This is Asad Hashim Ali back again with another episode of Behind the Grind. This time it's episode number 11, and we've got Hamza Syed with us. Hamza Syed is an old friend of mine. He was my junior at Lyceum. When I was working at Lyceum, he was a debater over there, so that's how I actually know him. I also remember him in his Mohawk days. That was a phase 2 back in 2015 to all the way further back to like 2010 maybe also. All the kids had crazy haircuts. Now you guys have like these weird douchebag fades going on, but that's okay. That is okay. You do you at the end of the day. I've called Hamza on because Hamza has this little page going on Instagram called the Brown Rant Guy, where he actually passes comments or like critique about society in a very jovial manner, and kind of likes taking the piss out of people, which is very entertaining because it's awfully true. At one point, he did stand-up comedy as well, but before that, he would share that with us. So, Hamza, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Asad. How are you?
Not too bad, man. Got a cup of coffee. I see you got a cup of chai as well.
Yeah, I've got my cup of chai.
Yeah. So, Hamza, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about maybe even going back in time towards like middle school. About how were you in school? What were your hobbies like? Were you an artist back then?
Okay, so I would like to think of myself like initially during the middle school years. I was sort of a goody two shoes that I was. It was like I always wanted to be very proper about everything and always following the rules kind of a guy. Not really the class clown in middle school, but slowly and gradually I realized that was not me, and I was just like, it took me some time to basically discover myself and what I was in person. And slowly and gradually I started cracking these jokes around my friends, and they sort of liked it, and I was like, hey, this is good. People are laughing at what I'm saying, because like good looks weren't always on my side, so all I had was my humor.
No, man, look at yourself, dude. You've got the Zulfi going on as well. I'm pretty sure people are like, who is this?
I try, but like pre-puberty, Hamza Syed was like the only thing I had going for myself was the sense of humor, actually.
Okay, fine.
So I mean, people liked it. I was making more friends. People enjoyed my company, and I was like, wait, is there any way I can capitalize on this and like make this something that's going for me? But on the other hand, I was always very like the goody two shoes bit was there behind somewhere in my subconscious, thinking about a stable career as we go on, thinking about grades and schools. So I wouldn't necessarily put myself or like define myself as a very artsy kid. Like we have a typical definition for an artsy kid. They're not always good in school, and they're always like laid back, apni dunya mein ghum hote hain, and like they're making something amazing in their minds because they're not with the system kind of thing. I was never that kind of a guy. I was like, when needed, I was doing well in school and stuff, and that is when I realized when I was in the 9th grade, I took biology, and I was like, wait, this is a subject that I really, really like, and this is something that I want to continue. So A levels maybe, and it like further reinforced my love for medicine per se, and then it was med school. And while I was in med school, I realized that a friend of mine, actually, his name was Shariar Ahmed, he told me that, man, you're pretty funny. And I was like,
another piece of validation.
Fair enough. Yeah, another piece of validation. And it was like, you should really do something about that. I'm like, what do you want me to do? So he's like, just start recording videos and start uploading them. And I was like, okay, fair enough. So I don't know if you remember this. Initially, I had this Snapchat thing going on in which
I remember that. That's when also. And that's when it was the shit also. The Snapchat was like where you had to be to get this kind of content as well. Exactly. This is when Instagram also, I feel, sorry, I'm getting a little nostalgic about these platforms also. At that time, I had a Nokia Lumia. All right. And I remember is that I had a Nokia Lumia, and there was a fake Instagram version for that, and all the kids with iPhones and Androids were like, haha. But even then, Instagram was nothing. There was no stories. Snapchat was where
Nothing.
people like Junaid Akram were also going crazy with it. I remember Moru was also up and about with it. There was that guy, that
Everyone.
French dude. There's that French guy also, I remember, who used to make Vines. Basically, people who switched from Vines went on a Snap then.
Agreed. Yes, that
Yeah.
is exactly like when Snapchat came in. It was the shit.
Yeah.
Basically, people were arguing that this might be the app that would take over Facebook. Like Facebook is
Yes.
the old like how we say कि
Old
वो
people use
पुराने
Facebook.
समाज कल के
Yeah, yeah,
बच्चे
yeah.
हाँ we were like bro, this is it. Snapchat is now all these Generation Z people are like, you guys aren't on TikTok. Jeez,
No,
गंदे हो गए हो
we
तुम
never will
लोग.
be also.
I'm I'm like I'm good. I'm good. Even though I do have a TikTok account, I don't use it that often. But I was like, let me get with the flow. I started this TikTok account, but then I was like, nah, man, I can't do this. I'm way too old for this stuff. I can't. So it's like just there now, just for the
Yeah.
sake of it.
So you started off from Snapchat.
I started off from Snapchat. Snapchat wasn't a public account. It was just me making just making random videos for my friends, right? People from my school, people from my high school. So I was just making random videos, and people actually loved it. Like they were like reacting to each, they were replying to each story that I put. I was like, man, this is really funny, and I was like, thanks. And that is when my friend, the same friend Sharyar, he was like, man, you shouldn't limit yourself. You should definitely make a page. I'm like, कौन देखेगा मेरा page यार? Like if I make it, like I can't make it big or anything. Like what क्या होगा बहुत से बहुत लोग नहीं आएंगे. I mean, just do it. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And the next thing you know is that I make this page. I call it the Brown Rant Guy because, as you can see, I'm like brown and I love to rant. So I was like,
Then
that's
you're a
that's a
guy.
good name, and I'm a guy. This blends in perfectly. So my third or second video, and this is a funny story. So I was still using Snapchat at that time, and Pakistan and India were having an ICC Champions Trophy final, right?
Hmm.
And Pakistan won the match. And I have no idea what I was thinking. Just took my phone out and I started doing a voiceover over the interviews that were happening post match, right? And there was like Virat Kohli giving an interview, and I just started dubbing over. I just started saying the most random stuff you could think of, and I uploaded it on Snapchat and not on my Facebook page, right? And I'm getting like messages, why isn't this on your page? Why isn't this on your page? And I was like, okay, fine, kar dete hain. Like continuously, a lot of friends will put this on your page. I put this on my page. I put my phone aside. Um, all of a sudden, my phone's like ding, 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 ding. I'm like, what's happening? There are notifications coming, notifications. Tuk, tuk. I'm like, what's happening? And I'm getting messages from my friends, bro, you're going viral everywhere. I'm like, excuse me? Like, bro, you're going viral everywhere. You're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, you're everywhere. And I'm like, I don't even have a Twitter account. It's like people are taking your video and they're uploading it on Twitter. and and then I see like within a period of like 15-20 minute हुए थे, and I was at like 50,000 views with like I don't know 2,000 shares in just 15 minutes, and this is coming from a page that had like 300 likes, right? Initially. And when that video ended, I ended up with 7,000 likes on my Facebook page. And I was like, wait, what is this? So that is how it happened. So that is the basically the foundation period of how this page started, right?
Yeah.
And that is exactly the reason why it because I got in my initial thing was okay, I'm just doing it because I'm having fun, right? The
Hmm.
moment it went viral, I was like, I got conscious about what I was uploading, and I was like, I need to one up what I've done right now. And
Mm.
when you start thinking that way, and when you stop having fun in what you're doing, that is when you lose your stuff. And that is exactly what happened, right? I uploaded a few more videos. They didn't do that well because once you get that viral, like 500,000 views on a video, right? And the next one is getting like 500 views, you're just like, wait, what am I doing? Why is this not? So
Then
it's
you feel
also
really
learn.
crappy also, like,
You feel crappy about it, and
yeah,
that
yeah.
is why for at least 1 or 2 years that page was dead. Didn't post anything on it. I restarted this page about a year ago in 2019, I think it was January or February of 2019. I restarted it, and this time I wasn't making videos. I was doing because videos. मुझे लगता था कि it takes a lot of time to make videos and stuff like that. So I just started writing. I was just like shit posting, and it was easy. Like I'm sitting having a cup of chai with my friends. Wait, I found something funny. This is funny. Just take out my phone, type it, post it. That was
Mm.
my, and I just had this one thing. Okay, I need to post at least something or the other. I did not care what it was. I was like, I just need to post one post a day.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly and gradually, people were like, okay, this is fun. It started gaining likes, and people actually started loving what I was doing. And I was like, okay. And then it like blew up, and like I got like quite a few number of followers following me.
Did you ever
That is
feel
the
like
story.
Did you ever feel like people would along this process, like maybe in the past year, from February, Jan of 2019, did you think that? Sorry, not did you think? Did people come to you or say that Hamza, maybe you should try this out. Maybe you should try making content like that. Any recommendations
Uh,
that came through?
Definitely, definitely. Not in that sense that hey, your content right now isn't good. You should adapt and evolve, but more of a okay, hey, you can try this out too, right? You can try
Yeah.
this out too. And a lot of people were like, see, so a lot of people were telling me to start posting videos again, start making videos again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not comfortable with that right now because I had gone through that phase of making videos initially, right? And
Yeah.
it didn't work out for me a lot, and then I was just too finicky. I was too scared to upload certain videos. The video bit started like when I upload not a lot of videos on Facebook. I upload most of them on Instagram, right? That is when
Mm-hmm.
I made my Instagram account, like around 3 to 4 months ago. That is when I made my Instagram account, and that is where I started uploading videos. And those videos were getting a lot of they were getting a pretty good response. And I was like, if I just upload them on Facebook, what's going to happen? Like, and I uploaded them on Facebook, and they started getting uh, a lot of people started liking them over there as well. So I was like, okay, this can work
Mm-hmm.
out too. So I'm just like a bit of videos, a bit of posts, and that's how it's working out. Pretty fun.
Okay. So the reason behind me asking this is also because like when I started off with the podcast, then people always had a problem with the frequency, which I completely understand. Like me being rational and being in this business, I know frequency matters. But when it came to like once I started getting content out, people started giving me suggestions that you should try something like that. Maybe you should change the duration of your content. And that's when I would actually get a little cheesed off. I'm like, firstly, if you watched what I said in the first video, which was 20 minutes long, it was very clear that I'm doing this for myself, not for you, Rick. It's for me. So like and to this date, like people still ask me, why are you doing this? I'm like, I'm doing it for myself. When 50 years
Agreed.
later down the road, I'm going to open up this conversation between you and I, and I'm going to tell my grandkids that back in the day we had podcasts and we had to do them on Zoom in 2020 because of the fucking lockdown, right? But this is actually why I do it. Like that's how I treat my Instagram as well. I treat it like an album. So coming back to you for a second, the whole episode's about you, sorry, but coming back to you is that um like did you ever feel like that feedback then came off or did you feel that feedback rubbed you off in the wrong way also, where you felt that okay, now I'm kind of having to mold my content for people when that novelty doesn't exist anymore, because I kind of want to do it for myself. I find this funny, therefore I will put this in my library of jokes, skits, whatever, and that happens to be on Instagram or Facebook.
Definitely. See, the thing is that once you start posting really frequently, right, you get a certain idea as to what people want, right? You can easily
Mm-hmm.
record the statistics. Okay, this post is doing well while the others are not. But the thing is that the posts which are doing well, you don't want to do that, right? Because
That's done.
necessarily it's done. Like I'm done with that, right? I don't want to I don't want to keep joking about the same old, oh, desi parents do this, oh, I was like, brown parents do this, and I'm like, I did that once, it did pretty well, people love it, but I don't want to do keep doing that. I don't want to become like one of those,
Run of the mill
let's not,
type. Yeah.
yeah, the get on board the bandwagon. Let's do the desi bache, desi parents, brown parents said this type. I was like, I don't want to do this, right? So I
Yeah.
try to. But it's very tempting because of the likes and the reach that you get. It's very tempting because it really makes you want to, hey, this is matlab, mil to raha hai na. You're getting more followers, you're getting more likes, you're getting more recognition for this work.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well just go ahead and do it. And there have been instances where I have done exactly that just to get it. But then I didn't feel like this isn't me. This is I don't want to do this. I don't want my humor to revolve around this. I want to be a bit different than what already is there.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, this does play an important part. Like you tend to sometimes give in to what the audience want, or go in a direction that that your audience is diverting you towards. But
Mm-hmm.
then a lot of them slightly make peace with it, and they're just like, okay, man, he's not into it, but I like this guy. Like the other things he's doing, they're pretty funny as well. So like, I have a very loyal fan base, and they're still there backing
Yeah.
me up. So I'm just
Yeah.
happy with that. I'm
Yeah.
glad that I didn't completely give in.
You get those cute messages from people all around the world as well. Like, I love your shit, Hamza. It's great. I love you, Brown Rant
Yeah,
Guy.
yeah, there have been, like, not on Facebook a lot because Facebook पे इतने messages नहीं आते, but on Instagram,
Instagram
like
पे, yeah.
you get Instagram पे you get a lot of them, and I love each and every one of them. It really, मतलब it tells you that whatever you're doing, like it might seem pretty pointless. Okay, hey, there's this guy who just like posting the most randomest stuff ever, but then
But it
people
makes
love
such a
it.
big impact, man. That's the
It
beauty of it. You
sometimes
know, like
does.
what you do, it
Exactly.
has such a big impact on people, and that's actually what I wanted to get at. Is that from your art? This is, I would say, this is your art form. Am I wrong to say
Oh,
that?
stop it, you. Fair enough.
so 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 like in this being your art form, humor, comedy, right? Even saying comedy just reminds me of Kapil Sharma, but like stand up, or like, comedic content, let's call it that. um when you create this, um what do you feel is that you kind of want to put out to the world? And keep this in mind also, because we spoke about this before hitting record, was that lately people have also been shutting themselves off from social media, and this is not a new trend. This is not something which is new, which is coming up. Many people have shied away from social media and shunned themselves away from it, but for very good reasons also. But I feel that people also on social media end up getting very engrossed in what they could be versus what they want to be, so
Agreed.
so shed some light on this point, actually.
Okay, so the thing is that social media is a very, it's like everything has its pros and cons, right? So social media can sometimes be a very effective outlet for someone who's going through stuff, right? And like it's a form of expression that you can express how you feel by, and it has helped a lot of people uh, to like overcome whatever it is they're going through by posting whatever they want to, by posting their photos, by posting their writing, by posting their art, etc. Right? It has helped them a lot. But on the flip side of this is like it has also affected some people in a very negative way because see the idea that social media is an illusion that we are all creating, right? And I'm not talking about just pages in general. I'm talking about a personal a personal Instagram account. It's an illusion that we have all created that all of our lives are so perfect and they're amazing, and we have friends that we hang around with, and we have this amazing food, and we're going to restaurants, and we're going to parties, and we're having this amazing times at a concert, right? But that is the only aspect
For
of
a
our
second, I
life that
thought I
we
was
show.
there. Sorry.
So that is the
Continue.
only aspect of our lives that we are showing, and that is extremely problematic for a lot of people because they start thinking that, oh man, like everyone else is having a lot of fun, what are we doing in our life, like हम क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे हम क्यों बैठे हुए हैं इन सबकी लाइफ तो इतनी अच्छी है. But on the other hand, no, it's not, right? Everyone is just pretending to be happy. Well, not pretending, maybe some people are genuinely happy, but they're never going to put in their problems or express their problems on their personal social media stories and stuff like that, right? So that kind of has a negative impact on people who are already going through stuff, and then they try replicating that in their own way, in their own different way, and that creates certain problems, and that is one of the reasons why social media there are a lot of researches going on how social media is basically increasing the level of depression and mental health issues among people who are constantly using it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where it is sort of a savior for a lot of people, it can most definitely be not a savior for a lot of others, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it can get them into this it's like a slippery slope, right? It's an addiction. It's You can easily compare social media to smoking a cigarette right now, or
Mm-hmm.
consuming alcohol, because that's what it is. If you're down the rabbit hole, you just keep going, and that is what a lot of people go through as well, and they lose their way.
But like, so you said that, well, people are also portraying the good of their life and probably not as much as the bad of their life. It's sad to see also is that when someone does try to share the bad of their life, of their lives, we're very dismissive about it, or that
Agreed.
we just turn a blind eye. Like right now, for example, I'm not going to touch exactly what it was, but there was a post floating around on Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp about um some abuse which happened in Lahore, and it was a trigger
Uh,
warning, right?
uh,
And it's fucking sad, right? It's ridiculous, but the point is that 2 days later, you're gonna forget about it. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine a few days ago. Was that, and this is not just social media. This is media. Let's call it media. Let's call it for what it is. It is mass. It is accessible, and it has been disseminated on in all areas of our lives. Let's go back to December of 2019.
Sahib.
The pandemic was an epidemic. There was about to be a war between America and Iran. There was outbreak in Afghanistan. Khashoggi had been killed. There was
Fires,
the
Australian
fire
fires.
Australian fires. All right, terrorist attacks in New Zealand. List of things, list of events, series of unfortunate events, which basically since November, October of 2019, we have brought forward with us. And I remember very clearly, I was in London in December of 2019, and I was thinking, I was like, dude, what has the world come to, man? Like, really, what has the world come to? And now we're in a pandemic. Okay, we're in a lockdown. Unfortunately, not everyone is following the protocol that has to be followed as well, which is another conversation altogether. But it's like globally, shit is just not stopping. Yet somehow our retention for the bad is very minute as compared to the good. That's what I perceive.
Exactly.
Thoughts?
Exactly. So see, that is just human nature, right? And this has been around for quite some time, and not just ever since the media got super mainstream. The human nature is just like that. That we tend to forget very easily, because that is just the body's mechanism of helping you keep sane. We repress anything, or we discard anything that makes us unhappy, and we try to overshadow it, and we have self-defense mechanisms for each and every one of them. That is psychology 101, basically. I just said that. I'm not sure if that's psychology or not.
But
This
I
is
know
just
the
my
debater in
opinion.
you is coming out. I know the whole
don't
protocol. The showmanship
don't
is
don't hold
coming.
me.
No, no, go
don't
for
don't
it. Continue.
don't hold me to it. But don't quote me on this, right? So, but yeah, but I know that this is basically it, right? Like we want to forget. It's not that that's how we are built. That is how we function, because that is the only thing that keeps us sane. And it's very easy to forget, and that's exactly what we are doing, because right now the priority is whether or not whether this world will survive this pandemic or not, right? that
Hmm.
is that is we have created a more of a hierarchy right now. Okay, okay, we'll think about the Iran-US war if we make it there, right? At this point, we don't think that that's going to happen because of the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. We just do it to keep ourselves healthy.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say is that like let's remember the bad. Don't get me wrong there.
Yeah,
Like
definitely,
the
definitely,
point is not to remember the bad, but I think the point is is to not turn a blind eye towards it, and it's to
exactly,
actually
exactly.
try to bring about a positive impact. And this could be at any level, at any scale. If a friend of yours, I think, for example, Hamza, I'm going to use you this hypothetical situation is if Hamza
Go
on
for
his
it.
personal Instagram, on his personal social media, posts about him going through XYZ crisis and needs a hug, um, I would reach out to Hamza and give him a virtual hug, or like, be there if he wants to talk about it, or like if there's any way I can help him with, and let him know that, I'm there for you, buddy. It's okay. We're gonna get through this together. I think that act also must happen. I'm pretty sure it does happen. I've seen it. I've seen people act on the good as well. I'm just trying to make sure is that, which actually gets me to the next question, is that with your content, what are you trying to put out to the world? Like is there any ulterior motive you have with trying to create a positive net impact with the work that you do?
Okay, so this is something that I think about a lot because I might not be doing this intentionally, or like I have a certain motive in my mind, but deep down there is something that, like, my own personal opinions on how things should be, they sometimes come out in a form of humor by degrading the other side in a way. I might not be doing it consciously, but there is that aspect, oh, I have some preformed notions, I have some opinions, and I will use my humor and the platform that I have to get my point across while degrading the other party. Me- there's a chance that I'm wrong while I'm doing that, but there's also a chance that I'm not, right? So I try to be like, I don't just post comical content, right? I do political satire as well, right? It's not just random funny things. I try to make fun of different governments. I try to make fun of the left and the right wing collectively, because see, once if you choose a side, right, especially if you're a comic, people will not find you funny because they know that you're representing a certain agenda, for the lack of a better word, right? So, and I think that is how all comics and most famous comics function as well, is that you need to make fun of everyone. You cannot pick and choose a side unless and until there's a completely weird case, like, for example, if you're talking about Narendra Modi or Donald Trump, right? And if you're supporting them, okay, that's problematic. But when you're talking about plain clear cut politics, that is left and the right wing, you need to have a more central approach towards it, especially with your humor. And that is exactly what I try to do, right? I try to make fun of both sides of the political spectrum, be it the right wing, be it the left wing. And I try to make people think that polarization isn't the only option, because right now all we see is like identity politics and this great polarization that has existed between the two groups, right? And I like to use humor in order to, like, bring them together and see, okay, probe concessions dono side agar kar le, so that is something good, right? And that is, if you want to call it a motive or an agenda, I think that's pretty much it. That is to, like, raise awareness, man, that no one is perfect and we all have our problems and we all have our issues, but, like, just think about that.
Is it correct to say that you're trying to level the playing field?
I'm trying to remove misconceptions between both sides, right? While one side makes it extremely difficult to do so, I'm not going to name which side, but, like, I'm just trying my best. Like, from a limited number of people that follow me and this platform that I have, I try my best.
Yeah. Great, man. Great. Awesome. Awesome. So let's step aside from what you're doing actually right now. I actually have a
Hmm.
question about this. So this popped in my head. Do your parents know what you do?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. What was their perception when they saw this?
Okay, so like I said, that I have a very different personality when it comes to friends and when it comes to family, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I played a very I acted pretty well for the longest time, especially when this page wasn't around, right? And I was this completely serious Dr. Saab Hamza of the family. He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
talk to a lot of people. He's restricted in his own room, doesn't socialize much. He's always busy in his padhai and stuff like that. This perception that I created, well, it came tumbling down once a lot of people found out, and they're like, "Wait, is that Doctor Saab Hamza that we know?" And I mean, my parents are pretty fine, but they're pretty supportive. They laugh. They
Awesome.
follow me. They follow me on Facebook and stuff. And sometimes I'm just like, I think they know at this point as to what I post, and sometimes the things that I post aren't what you should be saying in front of your family members, right? But
Yeah,
they don't talk about it. Like if something like that happens, they're just like, okay, fair enough. This is your own platform.
yeah,
You're grown up. You can
yeah.
figure it out. They're chill
Awesome,
with it. They're chill
awesome,
with it.
great, great, great. So like my mom knows that I do these podcasts as well, but she's like, "ये है क्या? करता क्यों है?" I'm like, "कुछ करता हूँ क्या मतलब?" I also don't like talking about it as well, you know. So have you ever had
Agreed.
to like have they asked you what got you to do this and stuff?
Yes, that is the most commonly asked question. Like a lot of close friends already know, but like some people who I'm not that close with, or just randomly bumping into people, they're like, What made you do this? Or why did you start this page?" And my answer to that is, I was bored. That is exactly what it was. I was just bored, man. I had all these things that I wanted to say, but I couldn't, and I just decided to just say it, open up a page and start saying that stuff.
Brilliant,
Zero
man.
filter whatsoever.
Brilliant. I love that,
And
dude.
and that is exactly the reason why the page isn't called Hamza Muhammad Syed, because I didn't want people to know who I was. But then, well, I mean, circumstances were such that people did find out, so I'm not hiding it anymore. But initially, the plan was to not expose myself and not tell people who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is why I that's the name. But
Yeah, yeah.
then I was like, when people found out, I was like, fuck it, man. Like, it's me. It's me. You can find me. I'm
What
saying
are you
all
gonna
this
do
stuff. I
if
don't
there's a
care.
video of you and someone shows, is this you? I'm like, you can't say no, of course. Like
Of
it's
course,
not some Bollywood movie as well. It's like, नहीं, ये मैं नहीं हूँ.
plastic surgery हुई
Plastic
थी.
surgery हुई है. What was the
Yeah.
guy's name? Dr. Anurag Basu. ये था वो, है ना?
कसौटी जिंदगी की game strong.
Yeah, man. Of course, that was shit, dude.
Right,
But
right after that, there was Son Pari, man. Love that Son Pari.
yeah, I was more of a क्योंकि सास भी कभी बहू थी kind of guy. That was my
Good
jam.
stuff. I don't
Yeah,
judge. I don't judge, man. You do you.
so we've
You
all
do
been
you.
there. We've all been there.
We've
It's
all been
okay.
there.
Yeah. So stepping aside from Star Plus and ZTV, tell me a little bit about your journey right now. In terms of what you see for yourself, like you're in med school right now. You're in your final year. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
You're in your final year of med school. Um, did Munna Bhai MBBS inspire you in any way? We'll just say yes. The yes is the correct answer.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah. But no. So like, what do you have planned for yourself? Do you how do you want to like go full time with pursuing medicine and also keep the page alive as well and keep that going for you on the side?
So the reason why I've simplified the page and I haven't gotten much into creating proper, well-produced videos and stuff like that is because I want to keep doing it even while I'm even when I'm practicing my career, because like it only gets uphill for a medical student after they graduate, right? That isn't it. Like for most people, it's like, okay, finally we graduated, we start a job. For medical students, it's not that. That is just when the real deal has started, because then you have to start searching for, you have to do your house job, you need to start applying for residencies. Where are you going to apply for residency? Is it going to be the US, the UK, or do you plan on practicing in Pakistan only, and stuff like that, right? So it's a very intense road. So that is why I kept the model of my page and what I do so simple that it's just writing a Facebook status. That is what it is. So even if I'm super overworked, I'm studying hard, I can take out 5 minutes, type a post, leave it there, and just be done with it, right? So definitely my plan is to continue doing what I do while I um, basically work on my career as well. But definitely, like I mean, being a comedian, being a stand-up comic wasn't ever the main goal for me. It was always medicine, and it was always being a doctor and specializing. So that is essentially what I'm concentrating on, and
Hmm.
hopefully we'll get there.
I'm so happy you said that actually, and like I was hoping that that would have been your answer, because what you basically highlighted is that it's not rocket science to balance these things. You don't have
Definitely.
to choose one over the other, and I think that's something that I know for sure that had a huge impact on my like middle school years as well. I wanted to learn how to play the drums, couldn't learn, so I picked up guitar. Right when exam season came, it was like put the guitar aside. पढ़ो. ये सब का टाइम बाद में
Definitely.
आएगा. फिर क्या होता है बाद में फिर एंड कुछ भी नहीं करते आप. You know.
Agreed. Agreed.
And I think so. Props to you, dude. But like, if what have you had any of these any relatives or someone like coming up to you and be like, Hamza bhai, मैंने भी ये सब करना है, then like their parents are telling you, Hamza इसको समझाओ नहीं करे ये सब ये पागलपन है.
Never.
No.
Hey, my cousins, they see that's what I've told you, right? That I've always had this image of Hamza Bhai, right? That, like he's
Yeah.
old and like he's very proper about everything. You can't be friends with Hamza Bhai. Hamza Bhai is just
Little do
like
you know,
well,
Hamza bhai has his own page. कॉलें आती है
yeah,
Hamza bhai को रात
and
में.
and when they found out, and they're like, really stop, like. ये क्या Hamza bhai is cool? What? he actually jokes around,
Yeah.
right? Stuff like that. So yeah, they've come up, but no one has ever come up to me saying, "Okay, oh, we want to start a page." No, none of my cousins or anything like that. But like, yeah, they do joke about it when we meet. They're like, "Oh, I saw your post and I saw your video," and I'm like, "Okay, good for you." And then they just give me a weird smile because it was not appropriate, and they're just giving me a weird smile, like, okay, good for you, man. Just keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone. They're like, okay, fine.
Awesome.
That's the most fun I've had with my content and my cousins.
Awesome, man. But dude, uh, this has actually been a great conversation overall. Because the idea behind the grind is to hear people's stories, right? And like I've always been someone who's always admired people who put in like a lot of hard work into what they love doing, and I can clearly see is that what you're doing is you love it anyways, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like putting in like tons of hours, but it's just that it comes from the heart, so it automatically it works.
Definitely.
It works well, man.
Definitely.
But like as a final question to you is Hamza, is that if you could go back in time and you could meet your younger self, what would you tell him?
Mm, do exactly what you've done, man. I just give him a. I'm happy where I am right now, and I'd change nothing. I wouldn't change the trajectory a lot. Maybe a few things, but but the end goal of me being a doctor and practicing medicine while having this side hobby of like posting comic stuff, that is the dream. Like I think that's pretty much it. I would be like, do exactly what you were doing. Like I'd give him the trajectory. This is the plan, man. Follow it. You'll like it.
Good, man. I love that, dude. I love that. No regrets whatsoever. Huh?
No regrets. Even if they
Very good.
are, I'm just like, you can't do anything about it. Just I'm fine.
Yeah.
I made it. It's fine. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah, man. But dude, this is awesome. Thank you so much for coming on once again.
Thank you so much for having me, man. This was a great conversation, and I love what you're doing. And I
Thank
love
you
this
very much,
podcast,
man.
and
Thank you
I
very much.
just hope that you keep posting it.
Inshallah. And I'm glad that our conversation, this is like the first time we're talking in easily like 2 years now.
Definitely.
But 5 years since we've properly spoken. 2 years ago, the
Properly
gym doesn't count. That was just like,
the gym doesn't count.
that doesn't count. But yeah, dude, this is fun. Yeah, don't mind me. Just gonna go to my deadlift corner right now, but
Deadlift corner.
yeah, but all the very best, dude, for whatever you're doing, man. This is awesome.
Thank you so much, and all
Ladies
the
and
best to you
gentlemen,
as well.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was Hamza Syed. You can find him on in the description box below in the show notes if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify or Google Podcast. My name is Asad Hashmali. See you guys next Wednesday for another episode of Behind the Grind, the show where I sit with people who are doing cool shit on a regular basis. Till the next one, everybody. Peace out. Bye bye.